Well, the critics came out swinging today as the government all but killed off the planned $7 billion takeover of the Australian Securities Exchange by its Singaporean counterpart. Chief amongst the critics was ANZ boss Mike Smith, who saw it as creeping protectionism, which could discourage foreign investors. Others called for an explanation as to why the deal was against the national interest. Here's Philip Lasker.
They're refurbishing the stock exchange gallery in Sydney, but the changes are likely to be just cosmetic. The Foreign Investment Review Board has blocked a more significant refurbishment, a takeover by the Singapore Stock Exchange.
It was the unanimous advice of all FIRB members that the takeover would not be in the national interest. So the parties yesterday were informed that I intended to take that decision and given an opportunity to respond.
Shadow Treasurer Joe Hockey was careful not to criticise the decision itself.
If Wayne Swan has a view about the national interest, he should explain the reasons for his decision. He should explain to the Australian people, he should explain to investors why he has taken this preliminary decision.
And it triggered a response from a former treasurer who noted the trend to stock exchange mergers around the world.
Just because everybody else in the world is doing it doesn't mean it's right, but it also means you better think about it very carefully.
That's just what Wayne Swan says he's done, but it didn't prevent the obvious questions about the negative signal it sends to foreign investors.
It's very important to understand that we take this process very seriously. Australia welcomes foreign investment.
But that's not the way some of Australia's top executives saw it.
Well, it's hard to understand how such a deal could have been against the national interest, but then again, I'm not privy to the information that the Treasurer had. Having said that, I think that this is another case of increasing protectionism we're seeing throughout the world.
Small investors who supported a merger were worried about a structure that resulted in Singaporean ownership of Australia's market regulator.
And the fact that we were looking at a foreign company taking over that side, there were always going to be issues in how this was going to be managed.
Yes, sure, at a business level there is a merger taking place, but not at a regulatory level.
And Professor Frino says this may be the Australian Stock Exchange's best and last chance.
The message that we send to the marketplace that we're unwilling to do a deal which brings in international capital in this form may turn off other potential suitors.
Not everyone says the deal is definitely dead, and some investors were still happy to buy ASX shares. They closed slightly higher.